Neat FM Neo.
Brand new.
The car no a banner.
Brand new.
The car no a banner.
Brand new.
The car no a banner.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new.
The car no a banner.
Brand new.
The car no a banner.
Brand new.
Brand. The car no a banner.
Brand new.
Bread ye wajina kunyao. Ishiraka neat etiefo nyina. Ozioma ADAKABRI oribo baby.
The car no a banner.
Yesi okwai tware suo. Ene suo tware okwai. Panyin ni hwan a yebo okwai betu asuo. Ozioma ADAKABRI FRIMPONG MANSO. Wajina kunya babiewu.
Yamama Trasio na Yamama ha. Yefri neat 100.9 FM so. And it's a nephew yeba manaso. Na ahini me bosumi ne yewo me ni da etosu du 9. Afi MP no aduonu emienu. E mam se akamiti aduonu na abo eye no mienu. Yefri neat 100.9 FM eye adwumaku a yeba na yaba be sommo eye neat 100.9 FM na ni nyina mu no mema nti dwumadie na yede ba mema nti dwumadie yede ba wada roma kunlu Ghana na ose yemfa sa dwumadie mfamro kunlu Ghana ode eye araba bazin ma di siesie ye ho de aba ode eye Mr Kill eye yede too stress ase ode aba eye honchon capsules prostate disorder ewa mememu ode aba king tablet say you dey regulate stabilize your pressure your heart pressure no and also ode aba kulu Ghana yademase a ensan eda na me manti dwumadie me amedi ho chia me yafra me ADAKABRI Mamudu Oshioma ai na misinia ko karata amansa chia me staff sergeant Harrison Ford kwabna mavuo is at large our name emunsam a wode ebeba production no enso ede esi eye panyini kwadwo da me adone na so na me wofa ase Magjali eye the maestro eye the utility ono so anu obo ni chidom na na kwafri ye enso na mranti kwa imienu wo hwe asiesie wo mo service wo mo na pe eye technical production no abrafrema bankro yesan mrani se mara michi mafa ene wa chire bi di achire me papa ya chire bi di achire me papa wo kasa ne ho messages a eba ene ho flashes a eba banyina nana ya sapo enso eno ani abrafrema ehwe achese awien o ma pe kwazon papa bi ede ama me se kwazon de mu die hin nyina me nsaka damaswati ana usiesie me papa nana ya utum se me damaswati maya ade pa no maya ade pa na yemfa asedan so enya de benia emfa emma engineering group fo no eno so achu agbo worker otia kwa na jare na na aboaje adasa nkroma nso yesa ne mrane se sempro nana ya safo adaru mama me fa din nana ya no so mfa nchia me nana ya oba akososo nana ya aje wa na anim sa wo na me chia wo wa flashment me se wa na me chia wo usu nim se wa so na me chia wo edi ono so nana ya edi wo de na nana ya safo ono so ya nana ya sei ntimi nka ni nyina nse ma chia no ono so achia me ni wa fa preko pe me na ya hwe se de be se atoto enoma ansa na ya ye de be ne an ya de aseda so ama facilities group fo no eye big solo na dada na no chese eye Mr Kill edi ahim wo fom honom afedi mema na mema yensa so mema na mamra nini numwene ohyehye numwene ohyehye that means eye Mr Kill no a ekodi hono eno ne mrani bebrebe numwene ohyehye inhyehye numwatinya odan we bi afen dia Mr Kill ba yemo mrante ko amasiso ni nyina mu no yamfa aseda sonkom eso emfa emma facilities for no amuna ama me hanyina ye tidy ahwe ye ha se kama console out so chese ambiance no kura wode mu akra no maya de facilities group mo maya de papa and some so ye de ba do doso ene interview mienu na ewo ho ye Dr. Solomon Owusu interview ba kon ewo ho ansa na Dr. Mwakuba interview enso so ewo ho na yenhwe emudie hina eba na yetimi akeka bom some of the so ne say can the government of Ghana recover from the current economic challenges? Do we know any timelines? Say ahohiahia ya yakomu ahokyire ya yewo mu no wo man mu Ghana aban ya woteso no wo de no magu akwan mu a yebefiri mu na yenim da benda mpo si yebefiri mu ana ho nsem yebedwendwene ho Galamsey fight haggling over who represents who at the courts. Is it a function of our sources in cabinet? Say Galamsey fight haggling over who represents who at the courts. Is it a function of our sources in cabinet? Say a nay and a way they could do yasa mamano and a way they represent way when they conduct matter no on this way behalf. Sa kasatintine ewo honum and no and a bemi yetimi asi aye Galamsey na no ana e honsem ye bedwendwene ho empanifo a eba dem ha say ne Nana Ojima of the MPP and a TT Katino of the NDC omo and a beba betena se wonso so wonso say ya wo bia no adwene bia wo bia no betimi dia fa 050 600 0909 050 600 0909 na ya nyebre na yentimi nkenkan nyina Daily graphic ena ode awie ode aba na chese yetna wo ma we say mu na wo hwe say what try graphic atra ABC na wo ye immediate right e de akosi CMB honom na yetimi de eye 5 ton tata 5 ton tata eye truck ekokosi honom na yetimi de a whole daily graphic front page in the back kan asem say a si honom a check e ma disrupt other road users ene graphic etimi e de follow up number or say abandoned track now removed. Oh, and it will subscribe there. Yatibi. Graphic now to see Operation Hot 2 relaunch as chiefs, MMDCs empowered. Aye. And no, and I go use and yasadi asha soja for any shabiemu almost sign akobiem nananum any MMDCs. And they see the 2 me biamo. A 2 me for an answer existing to me none their mom. And so Lumu Subaba Casa, I'm yet is the DBC at the ever Mapia Ghanaian Chronicle, what's it say? We will contest 2024 with our own referee, John Dramani Mahama. Also, Mwanka, so my referee, the Herald Democrat, and I was saying, the dear 206 at Snit and traps a Kufu Ado with age cheating, reasons for Domelabus, dismissal, reloaded, and somewhere the Hodomono, Oko Kenkaya, Ebeba, Daily Dispatch, and now also say, Daily Guide, also say, was say, NDC Galam say hypocrisy. Exposed and what the Baba Jamani photo pepe ready as Colundo and what they why Samuel Kujato Ablakwa as Umfunini and or the Abba Nina and say delegate etro ni say dia mayin and some no edoso na economic mess and na yetimwin na 38 days ago and Ghanaian born Kwesi Kwarteng Obebe Chancellor of the Exchequer in the United Kingdom na okoye nanunie and okoko shia Ken Oforiata ewo IMF for meeting ase ewo North America na omudidi ye ho nkomo 2 days ansa na meeting be end no and say Kwesi Kwarteng wo sori ya oji twi ebebetwa Atlantic ya oba back to the United Kingdom ni nyina ko wie say British Prime Minister no woni mpanfo kan tibon mo no wase Kwesi Kwarteng no ontimi ne nya adwuma biem ne bone a waya ne say wakoye mini budget and widespread criticism and okati taxes intending senka ebe boost to production manoma etimi akona ni so na enso so no higher borrowing bosia bo na de benia de eko enti Kwesi Kwarteng ni statement ebeba but for now yani Dr. Richard Amuakumba ana edin komo doc yamu aha
Majojo
na awia yu ho yede
yame adu
yanti we mfiri ho IMF meeting yakosise nkonwa na yede Kenuforiata atena nifa so ene yede Kwesi Kwarteng British Chancellor of the Exchequer etena bonkom so ena tete eso mo mienu na common aspirations wo mo koken asem 2 days ahead of CBW meetings, you know, and I could see back to the UK. Nina could we say, and a unity 38 days after becoming the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Now, IMF we so 1976, and Dennis Healy, or they British, Britain fui echo IMF, and then the Kwesi Kwarteng sooner, Ojina Honomi. And they diakosua list trust, where you Kwesi Kwarteng, Nebiso question say, Dr. Tio Champon, say, Adena Kufuado. Eda wote sa Kenuforiata ngonguna nsem osibirikete bantuma kotia etoto no ma papas no ntimi nyina die ena eno mea engineer nana ogire hese obusa se enti ayi Kwesi Kwarteng adi ntia logically e follow say yenyi Kenuforiata adi ana doc aja jigsaw no papa mugu amayene
ayo nukwani tama Kwesi Kwarteng ba no na nsama na okano Olumpo de wanted that talk over take taxes, sir. They were Prime Minister in America. And I would say, Akoya, they obey a big state to power. Won't remember J. A buying for now. I did obey a person, so what the taxes. And the Oman, the young one said, we unity. And now the Queen, so yeah, because you got a dear by the way. Why, you man born a unity? Like beginning now, Oporiata. Oluwa na tiswa more than 4 years abesime. Nje yi obi dia. Olumum ne o se yi ndi. Ko nya situation ko aye west change within them. Kra. No that one. It can say ni the president you know that too. But enya papa they can pay and they say Ghana. Ibo dem. Amanfo. Omanu. E good bro nje but they go and back. It's say, yes, I'm not going to put Senia. Would not twins you ship you. The one ones you know brewer. No, that them. She know them. A better one concerns you know Ben one. Emma, my association out into my concrete airport. Get the son for it. No one the dear bar in GMO, but grandpa, pa. I hope say, a mayor coin, Mabu will be so. Yeah, who said, the dear Yajano. Or my logo. No more yellow west. Every day beyond someone with the banner, and yellow west.
Say a dear potty Anna Ken Ufuriata as the finance minister. Why ya? Who can say a west na or minor able?
Oh, baby, my bubbles. Baby, I'm sure say the mantra haka no cry no one. The fan of Bakubakwa. Here they come.
Somewhere, Ken Ufuriata, 2017. And a president of the republic at the finance ministry. The 5 years on, you know, the tenor saying the city in tia or say and no abo man.
You, Obaya giddy. In an area giddy with it is all called no one cassa and Abrabo said the name of me, no, and go in a go. I made this all come once I'm done. I'm sure I'll go canopy. And to know many antipas on over here announcement. But the children who yeah, the numbers in the council. You see, by Ghana, it's GDP to debt ratio. By the end of the year, let's see 104%. And then let's just say, it just say, just say, yeah, they know 104%. As a breeze, almost 100. They move, they apart from say, you have book and a dear, a beton, a dear tickle. And also, other say a ton, now say, they are books. Now, if you dear the Yakoye, a dear cookan. That's the first thing. It says, yeah, they know, they are very, very serious. Because I dear will fall back on, say, Yakoye, we can the Tiakanakano. Listen, Nabe, or the one you got, a dear cookan. And as I say, your Moya says, Mufata Timro, na tax no said it, you know. Yes, I was sorry, I now get tax. What Genesis here? And the nature said, why you grant me? Because no, and a member of my wood. And look how far, my dear, about say, I get tax in the nature, so say, yes, papa. But buying here to come, get tax in quantity. As a matter of fact, the US, the recession, the Sika Assembly Yabia. Now, we are opposite. We have a hobby. The American phone in Sika. $300. There's a bank, but I just scared the Mamudia. A bank or two bank. I could do it. I could do it. I have been for I guess Visa. I know your friends say I despair the economy because department stores say Walmart now more torn no matter department. I'm not going to target. I'm from Tardy and let's say wholesalers no more tardy, manufacturers no let's just almost so I'm not there now my young don't continue. I'm on doing continuous almost high the account. No, almost I'm on coffee. I'm coffee. There's a ripple effect. I want a tax can't come on your money talk workers in Tardy and so much.
The way you can for that charge, I will born when you ATU.
February. Yes, sir. I take my phone on Moya good pay. That 290, almost 6 number, and I got told no, we are got to carpet, we are got office. Not just a quiet yarn, and was it. A band, sir, a band say, but she can't cut try there or store. Now, got try there or store. Now, I dare not yam to almost almost time. So, also to order more from manufacturing. Manufacturing so any more than you compare my more no matter. Oh my yeah, you are not one that stop the potato on your man. Let us all kickstart the whole economy. The kickstarted. Now you did it. I did. The crana ya did crano. You should abide it. It's just an effect, no. Oh my music can the quite my home. A banishing is called the picture. There's a tall cruiser and a woman chetty. There no now what's our vegetable. The money must be in the hands of the citizens. Omuna despair economic activity. And now I buy no top pan one as a but you could take out with it. If you are some mahogany, and citizens know almost some that's almost dija. In fact, one bar, a buying soldier and task, which are the whole, the start and it's a we still cry, do Oh, yeah, no, sorry. You could do. I mean, what they will say, one sorry, I'm up for man. Back on. Okay. Yeah, say the debt to GDP ratio bedroom 104%. 4 years day. 4 years day. And you said there, let's just say, you can never hope to pay for it. You can never hope to pay. And I make us say, the other account say, yeah, they pay, yeah, but some mama, they're not in Yasigano. I said, they're coming over here. They're going to see after the so, let's just honor, I always pray. Auditor General's report, 2021. You can't, the Sisika, yeah, the Sika Ashi, in whom we have just a note. Thievery and incompetence. And so, Papa, yeah, no sense. Now, I am a physician, and you're incompetent, the man, you're actually. Now, report to what you say, and I see a war in Ukraine. Then, obviously, meaning I come. And stand up dollar exchange. Ram to some mocha, according to 11.22 cities. That's how I say it. It says, a go higher. The start to say, tier 2 contributions. Sika, a month for a year or more, get to home, or they call pension. I just say, I buy one just canoe. Now, so a tiampa, just a while, use canoe. As they say, I will use it as the canoe, I'll call retirement. Tell you. Now, call retirement, and dear no baby. The baby, a best baby, and what was the most likely. The about it, you have to ask the canoe, a subati, any canoe, and finance one kind of haircut, a chest in the way, no. They lose some of its value. Into who? If you have 100 cities now, so now, but here we see canoe, only a bonita, one dog she, a tiaba, 3 you can bet about business. So, a bear west.
Etima yem sa kakra say.
Yes.
Dr. Mwakuba, we political scientist and also a historian. Now, in 2007, December, and the new Patriotic Party, etimi ede flag bearership no, baton no, share na ado dankwa ensem. Somewhere 2008 June, and okofa the economic technocrat, Dr. Mama de Baumia, and obeka kire National Council for na ehia say, we ninim dia ewa economists mu eko akire. Na Ghana so adwuma mu dia ma me se me pre to me no more economic. It's a brandy way etime ede panacea to was say ne be ye no na middle income earners ewo oman mu ase agi ne tumu a na chese ya wie ne sa na ma MPP for so agi no ede no den etum 2012 nana 2008 nanado elusu narrowly to the late John Mills. 2012 olusu controversially to John Mahama. And then 2016 what in the tear dream. Was it your expectation to say nanado or be perform one?
Oh, let me go. You are not in the sense. Young people in an attaching and never. Now, so economic situation, I'll tell you, the customer there, they may want to make a and never we are because almost the human things. Tafu Mafu and the others almost just a human things. Or no Tafu Mafu by yet to say Prime Minister. We are president of all. You need to be now. We are no Nujum. Okay, that time now because you're more your dear, resign because you did what you say. We are official on our crown, Monsignor. It's on our becan. Or see, I'm an animal. In the audience, sanity. So, but send another. The dear is not gonna, you just say, we even continue to be such that. That is, you'll be our own kind of thing. Oh, Bonya meeting, why are there? The mom, oh, Bonya meeting, one fan, your grand nature, and the nature's wabble Buddha, and the tear, and the Kakota, we have yes, you know, then can play them star, and this starting kaka after the aging.
Anti chese ususu say on the face of it at the whole plane say obi awie sika and a Ghana mampanyin so omienche no.
Oh, see, you have evidence of that. Maybe I mean, evidence. No, me na me control police. Evidence. Who now your president? I didn't have to abandon. And in that time you have, and yet pure evidence now. In politics, you say appearances are everything. And when you say Abraham, at the end of the course, you know some. Some more can and your papa, wow, and no quack out to me unity. And your contract says hard evidence, court evidence. How do you hear you? Appearances are everything.
Enti ye no lawyer for no ebeka say a prima facie. In other words, in plain English, on the face of it. Ese odu ani bu appearance say wo kan ya ne nipa na so abokro no. But bia ye wuram na dance ye no ye de totomra no ho a ene ebehu se wo mo okro no. Enti wo pese ene ye mra ni mu say yetimi hwe we aka say akwa we de nanim hu to wo kromfo ana akwa we de ni tiefu ene to wo kromfo ana.
Oh, the being in America. You are simply a fact. But in your court and in your country, where you're political. And your friend is saying, you're legal assembly. President, you on the appointing you, what you say. At his pleasure, what you that is what I'm talking about. It's a whole year there. Now, appearance in the just say, yeah, papa. Now, example, we see, we're quite my men, madam for no, na, a vaccine. Yeah, Bisano, or sister, of course, because I did deal now, because on the air. So, but on the year minister, and now many people want to say, it's a Bisano, that's a woman, what do you call your Bastaza? I know they are so good. I don't know. I mean, I'm here president, you know, this because it said, what time I had the corruption as well. That is what I'm talking about. No one named Tom, and Timmy and Yano. The cost of vaccine, Russia for by I'm saying, Yano, that's a debate. Now, President Coca say, yes, I send you. America said, when your friend is saying, boom for Monson, you know, woman, that's Papa. That is what I'm talking about. Maybe be now here, your friend is saying, real court evidence, do, and your court, you can't tell me.
Enti, na, and your expectation, say, Nana, Adudanko Kufuado say, Anna, or be perform me. Na ubeka say a bad saying and in quotation marks will be because you're foisting on Ghanaians. Is it about the battle of the Lords and then Yamisunti, you didn't buy it, and now selection processes at the party level and no ye the wrong candidate, and now say election at the national level, general election, and ye wrong candidate, Anna?
Let me tell you, I just said the way I answered here, I didn't have. Yeah, Papa, ultimately, who need panopot is said you sit. System piano, how bet my who need panopot. Now, yet, just say, we have some to boy in one on the church, and I know only a bon, only a tonion, so, they won't, because within the party, no one can tell, or see to me a better woman. Faithfully, you cram or wait, situation by the same worker. That's what we are for kind of idea, there you can. The person who said they want to disappear. When you have to know, I can't. That's a impromptu question. Yeah, Mao Quine. If you say, call national, your parents and make running for national chairman. And I didn't come on, I was thinking, my agreement, intimate, make a big crack, Tanya to Abano. Maybe, or more playing here, can't get even me versus one on the 1 year, then Casa. Because only we see a Casa of her Bayasta. It is only a decoy. The party system in Anna, the Papa for to me hijack, that the Nado Bedroom, I said the Queen, a hijack, on the name club, party no one can move to cry, your Becani, and I won't use the honor champion of it, and the idea was Anna, the Pia Jacob, the Cobonia Ubianca, and the tape. There's a party structure now, and your papa, they catch some pain. They say, Munkaza, Mumisa JFK, I didn't know which my JFK.
Yababa party government relationship, but then yen conclude those certain yen tie not know certain areas. Yane Dr. Mwakumba na edidi ye ho enkomo ɛyɛ ɔman sɛsie ne sɛdeɛ sie hogya na agigya ɛna yɛdwendwene ho deɛ yɛbɛtumi ayɛ mpo a yɛbɛtumi asan apagya yɛ mu na ansa na no gye sɛ yɛnyi ho nteaseɛ deɛ ato kyima ɛho nkɔmmɔ ɛne yɛde wobɛtumi a WhatsApp yɛn on 0506000909 enti sɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo sa on 3 fronts the party selection national general election election nyame no a obo odini ema yegidie wo nyame mu at 72% Christians yɛde no ɛbaaye ufiri sɛ saa miensa we firi ho a kwan bɛɛ so ɛnanka ɔman ma betimi ehunu na komam ɛne na dwenem sɛ obetimi perform ana wontimi perform
yo ba ko say for be president e say you do background ba ye wa ya ansa na wa believe be be odu ye kan ho asem nyina awutimi fa mpenibo mo nim no also make both testimony ye dia tieni na nsem kan ye bisa no question so dan ye di hu nipa eye die bibia ya artificial it no kwenim nya me no mo kase na na do no amo na me papa no wa ye say packaged candidate package so most of the time we be hu no ada so na ho ye campaign all the so timi kasa chobo no ano we never saw him say otina ho ye bi sane nsem mu odu we be say we never heard that obey president okura no or your press conference who be sane question no confirm me sector minister be yan ye is who now ye penny ye cost be was so and just was so who na drop but or so who idea and to say company who say be had na cost so many ye who be sa
na de ye hu ye ne say the brand Nana Addo in somewhere June 2005 thereabout and if ye nimu fritete ye de billboard ekokosi eye Kanda highway near the Swiss embassy honom na omobaji office ketewa bi ewo tiptoe lane achiri ha sei phone afo office the brand Nana Addo no na ayese liberator general to the extent to say na yenim say 73-74 oni eye Kwasi Amankwa afiri fanom ene mpanifo eka ho ene kutua champon edisiani se kutua champon na de wode o man na ekono yeni enye ho the brand Nana Addo no ba said Dr. Hilal Imam ebetna akonwa so 79 was it September 79 na Chief Justice Apalu na SCCA kakra bi ya bam kwane ya befa so a obetimi atoa so di na konwa as Chief Justice na kwaye engineer amwako tufuo ade asem ne court na Nana Addo ene chachuchi kata wo performance wo court man edini Nana Addo no so no ebeka yadwenem in the middle 80s somewhere 1985 Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo kumi preko said omusi ejina mu a chese ne nsem a wokan ye ene ACD afo ene omudi hia mu no the brand Nana Akufo-Addo ebeka nkrofo dinim etosunum kura no Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo edin Akufo-Addo no na ne papa edi eye president be a ceremonial president krana ne papa waye Chief Justice waye president da edina edin Akufo-Addo no na resonate ansa ene se obegina ndafa park a or prediama jonkofo at 2000 one ma chake me na obi ehunu say yes be me na ka say it is a brand no ena ne anim ena ne ehwe so ena ye de to abade ma no enkade ebiem ena na wose ehunu
oh I know your package so obi be ka say kumi prekwa enjeso on na dwene hu enjeso on na kampo obi na aka no waje so obeka you be saying something who I said you be see a year no no now be who say you all can wojidi and answer ya some kakeke sanity I mean politician bia ni wa wait me aka bibia fi ono ani tu or assistance me am for be provide ideas it's okay but the assistance ideas na wo kanu wo get him now wo timi tias there now wo di yecho and so wo kan keke dia obi atimi kebi that is what happened it is wo kanu and he jinas but deep inside him, he didn't know him. And the other I can say, JB Dankwa. Nipa P MPP old MPP for old PP for UP4. Every almost the JB Dankwa we are no question another. So no one to me anya nana be yento mano. Ni na aka ho. So and to tell you so one kasa mo ne there were so many factors and na boa no. But still ni name.
And at least we share JB Dankwa na obi ka say ojini gidi e wo JB Dankwa mu announce expected performance bia na wo JB Dankwa mu e ko share kufu aduma obebusa say JB Dankwa no Ghana fo ama ne mandate wa nye bibia mfa ama Ghana say ye de mandate ama na all perform accordingly so reasonably no why de betimi aka say die JB Dankwa ntimi anya no yesusu say na na do e betimi aye
pa say me see say the na buzi asiye na sem or gentle democratic we can be anu we can Ghana na dankwati Ghana for no pije ni no they say so nine ya be kuma say ni and that just say ehun bi abi ehusem no because for that reason or try letter come out kwame kuma aden no wachimatu ni na na ye briadi chese ne zam kan ni na chese onye ni papone no and we do e wo je wo hwe said you see true history Ghana history name some na oya de pa intellectually no oya de pa is one of the few authors African authors or true de above no straightforward who can talk as one organizer another one ne akobi evana Sheikh Antadio of Senegal omo mienu o say me need two people Africa how mo ya de a omo mienu na American first so and he never got the chance me can say the view oye bia na yo Kwame Nkrumah ko America and one preparation onya ya o de ba him yeah David Dankwa ne others no maka no omo de no omo cooperating omo da na omo general Nkrumah the agitation revolution young people no so stand on pay no
so would you agree to suggestions say Nana Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo na onye sufficiently endowed to manage the state Ghana na
oh say dem me hwa me hu sa ono wa yana sem so ono wa ceremonial president say ne papa de annual e di economics here kozi o free at the grim eno ka hu ntino won ginu yin free one oyin na hwan aba what you say oyin na hwan
but at least Nanado's first year degree in economics are we suggesting say he does not appreciate basic economic principles ana
oh me pacho don't go school especially Ghana University from Jomo in Kango Bian now go your first degree in economics. You are not prepared to do anything. You are not well prepared to be in charge of any financing area. Which I say you must take other financing, MBA, all of that. And over to my adequately prepared to say, oh now very hard. And it's a whole name sir. And can you say for that come now they are no no we say they say GDP to debt ratio they do say you ask these questions now amount warning say be ade no kono papa
okay the young man say Akufo-Addo wajitumo from the onset say the Ghanaian question was economic and in his view say yede ne running mate then eba in his purview running mate no ebetimi asolve the economic questions in fact intending say what the Nick cousin nana ya kuntunkunku furiata ebeba be finance minister no with the two of them nanka ya safumafo so engineer 10 finance and economic person no now I handle for finance ministry dano and ka so betimi aboa and now what dey Dr. Akoto Osei and so ebemu economic plan and odema Professor Jam Bafo na abranti ordinary health adima manu kra no or certified public accountant one so wako finance ministry da a handle budget any I'm sorry handle revenue generation eda or was that talent nyina I was still enka ye suffer the ye suffer yana
kababwa Ni nyinaa no sɛ deɛ ɔbɛyɛ biara no sɛ president nankasa ɔntae akyerɛ a ɛnyɛ yie. Wɔn a maka no kora mu nso ɔntae akyerɛ woka asɛm kora obi amfi mu. Saa na ɛteɛ. Na president ne nka sɛ ne ɔkɔre ata. Nti deɛ ɔno bɛka ne di mu. So, ma mema example. The winning year, no, and check it. Winning year, one of the first things we did is Ghana at 62. Yes, sir. Ghana at 62. Number two. If you are saying, I'm Ben, I want to say, Obi celebrating age 62. Timothy, hey, maybe I say, Ghana at 62, say, that's 70, 60. Over 62. And next year, Ben 70, 63, 64, 65, and I started it. David, and when I'm there is something in this. And you know, in your Ghana celebration, most likely, na party no, na so mo di when your party no, na don't go for no mo di no, na kada ho, bi o mako bobo se bi a say, the campaign. Na to say, ayeshi yes can tell them their kutia, honey defy, and the Ghana is 62, the budget in the mania. And some.
Enti, say no. Dr. Muhammad Baumia as the chairman of the economic management team, be it advisory, and the vice president, what can say? Yamana in a juma. Yajia juma. Okay. Okay, to the way.
Oh, okay. The utterances is very. Oh,
sir.
Yes.
Nanka.
Oh, say. Not be an another can say COVID and Ukraine war on dinner and check. But we had the Bakubeka home or say a COVID Ukraine war and a bank cleaner. And that's so Pacha says that decision to do bank cleanup not on government.
And I say he was in the minority.
Maybe he objected, but Ukraine the one away header. That's officer there so important. This is big money. Don't sit there and say, okay, Munye, can you understand? That's important.
But how is a government expected to perform if indeed the Ebeka Ghana for the say vice president or background in economics na obetimi abua na yedi ye nyina so na o campaigning vigorously na ono eno okeka nsem bebre ma nipa nya agidie ema yede to abano ede ema wo mu na se nei onya opportunity intimi display the skills as a team member mpoa ade na obeye din ama no ma ginsemu a na ye betena kire speculate ama no se ya me na nyina adwuma
ono na ga ya ma na nyina adwuma na bi na me kire omu se along the same line or say ade ama Ghana aba for stand bank cleanup no ka o kasa pe indirectly or catch yourself that decision to do that he didn't support it or he wasn't part of it so no patch now one no yes no I said there were others omutimi overriding so that is what I'm saying now one person I was that's when you didn't come on now we some say that's what we are saying they do say there also always because yes about only a service so
now imagine say a center of the right grouping see a MPP Nanka vice president ma resign
papa that's just always just why yes tsunami do you see that vice president is like okay resign and yes say so all years a kabema abana shaking them yes sanyo mantem atwanye and I said the economy near the costa it didn't mean anything anymore.
See, just before you go, Dr. Mwakoma, you know this on the ground, concrete. As a president, no, I prefer say, enka uniwa based on the personal loyalty and the vice president, award the manono, enka the vice president should become the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. Sir, I we say the fact of the president preferring say. Can the vice name Rano? Ebe yejuma.
Yes, I know. The first one by vice president just away next person to go anywhere. I am vice president, yes. Party no one agenda, and the government so one agenda. Then family no who becomes the next vice president to party national? Yeah, but 2 months last year and 2 months. I want to be Kofa government, the government machinery and the might and the resources and the chinchilla away and then next candidate. No, then you understand. And no take and I make a some about somebody who could not north of her, who could see the crew for the same bassa and the buyer. And yeah, appropriate quack no craning and yammy ya. The woman out to me can say, and yeah, papa, quack. I was shocked. What you say?
Kasa no okano local language. What you say?
Oh, I mean, the
And I want to ask you, so now you are running with what you are told as to what he must have said.
na me better mati ipa choti yen tinti yen kan wasen obi a o hono abeka yen dey yen de kwe o ti mo se yen de kwe obi a wote kasa na eno abeka the nipa na te o kasa na wo de why you agent o profo na o mo kasa mti o kan achi akose kona bia nipa na o kasa achi na the fact we abeka ni je so no mbo giti se ye wo kan nya papa ka ne ti no abeka yen ga le na yen kan wasen because of that. And your papa cry. And first, at the division about party, at the division about Omanum, tribalism. And your papa, now make you say, Obian who are waiting Maria, I want to about Krumha, and this is what I won't win account vote. And you the quiet tribalism there, and make a chance account for Munja no Yan. They say, why any say account for Muyan names. And the Munja no Yan idea. None of you, none of my canon, the tribalism. Yen penchichim uyade a uyade oduma bo oduma din modern bomb and the so ato abanama and just all kan ko do be a o say muniani mi oduma ade dan obi aka na so aka kan fo nkwa na yes sir
Ne kra Dr. Mwakuba, in all this it is the new patriotic party as a body corporate and wawo the government led by Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ti dia ekoswe it's a divisiveness, tribal politics. Again, na party no ebetimi aye etimide astem the tide.
Eh dem papa. Dem na mi chum say. Who knew let's go over couple no. JFK ne 17. Dem no betimi. What you say? Very very difficult. Who you tell me? I want to go catch up as you say. On the head of the government, on the head of the party so. The day na akoka so new ya adwene na so operation na obeti ma sister be nti omo de ndi na say won de kaka sa na yako we could do election time omo de ba be di ni mo so we jina how we jina eno ano say see ano de very very difficult na I don't think na me body will say Ghana for ayaka MPP for pomping for mo sorry na me sremo nya say me mpe na adu asemo me pe na sempa na emu ye konedi say Bokro no. I mean, can't see so say. So what did us? This ADAKABRI and time Kakran in Kabu. Luachi, because idea, the annual, no say Jimmy Nomasa, mayonnaise. They spend 260 cities. The tax I'm here. Nay, the tax here, a friend is 50 cities. That's what I said. I just said. 19.2%. We could do 250. A tax on that in Kwano. There, 56. What do you know to change? People can't do no, my name is no one or the bar photo. Also, I could share tax kakaka. So now, say me, acquire by John Adjustica. I tell a tax kakaka, income tax. Why? A G, if I know Koto, no man bar photo, so I tax kakaka about 30%. More than that. Now we control say kakana can control what time this can do. Tax reduction. Yes, sir. What is called diminishing returns. Who didn't say a business say shopkeepers no or my two store. And then I buy it and you almost store. I don't almost buy it.
We will leave it here.
Your friends are watching my but then say, you're not there, but be an hotel. Yes, sir.
We will leave it here. Dr. Richard Amwakuma. Yeah, there was a Yamin. Right. Dr. Richard Amwakuma, a political science lecturer, is in retirement now. And he's also sharing views on the economic challenges at Ghana, FAC. And we are going to discuss the issue as to is the government able, and I say, is the country able to recover from such challenges here now? And do we know of any timeline? And then we also look at Galamsey, also the fight for it, haggling over who represents who at the law course, Is it a function of us a success in cabinet and Nina Honsam Ebeba? Gusunity Neat 100.9 FM. With me, I was appearing on 050 600 0909 050 600 0909. Na edeba TT cat not beba na najiman so ebeba. But for now, yensa another interview. A mining consultant, Dr. Solomon Owusu. Na yenyini views. Now that we have launched Operation Halt 2, what are his thoughts? Dr. Owusu Yamwaha.
Yeah, no.
Doc, now what to say every
Papa, Yamiado, Admara Kwabia Koso.
Yo, as a mining consultant, we appear to have our hands in the air. Efasa, Galamsey, and Sensemi Ehon. But there's been a concerted effort to say, you bet me, actually, you bet me, see, ano. Nina, Aquaco, we say, Aban Shasia, in your view, Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. Any they call Operation Vanguard. Any they call Galam Stop. Any they call Operation Calm Life. Any they call Operation Halt 1. Now, Operation Halt 2. You deploy the army. And then we are asking the Minerals Commission, say the granting of licenses, they should have the input of Nananom. They should have the inputs of the district chief executives. What indeed at this time is your thought?
Yo, Medas, your past. Before Ponya is with T4, 18 for if you are say Afanelli. And your boy in the credit. I'm making a correction back. Operation or 2 no. Above the Kemo. And almost also a relenting you. Almost uncle. That is it. I want all the team Operation or 2.
It is Operation Hall 2 and the area you mean.
It is no Operation Hall 3. Nanam and Guasienti and Omasa and Reland. There's almost 3 no. Almost after 2. But your Omudi call your Operation Hall 3 no. It's a okay near what you can now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Abai started the Galamsey fight from March 2017. Oma Yesa military approach here for 7 times. They move up to anyone. It may yield any significant result. Because President, the fight of starting with key performance indicators, KPIs of settlement and Penifui. Ukraine, I'm any more fast. But yeah, so could be not in America. President, Wapagana was so commitment to fight Galamsey. I know the President Nana Aludanko Kupado. Nobody can take it from him. Nemo and Penifua Wapa almost one. When a niswa di wunu mrem omumwano na yen sebu o maino e penifonu different ramo na da the evidence bebre ababontin our president also ojina so di tekias but ultimate tekias obi nim mia eko offer when honorable Peter Mewu started in 2017 March. And now, engage media for no motive for we say media coalition to fight or stop Galamsey. When these guys were working hand in hand with Honorable Peter Mewu and Roma Kosuma, he never said, "Ninsone Nicolas Satisfaction to Kaka." And Kofi Antoata and the president said no, Professor Semukina. It was called the Interministerial Committee of Illegal Mining. And all the professor medical doctor Epotuano. And then on the day operation wine now buy or the buyer bedroom calm life. And a president who say, Papa no so fighting no excavators more than 500. Are you not pinning them? I know I want some degree. Another topic. In so now, so on Bahubine, in so the cost. Galamte no so Munjan, Galamte cost. A man some degree see. Now President Jimmy Frio. And I did another land and natural resources a friend of Asuma Clement. Compose much lemon. Or do I know a better one? Or also by an also better operation hot one. And Yaguma. Operation hot two. And Yaguma. I pay a sum of a pay that can pay. In so now. I say no crown. And you show that to and I'm gonna say, offer what is happening.
Na okay ya okay me.
I may have them. Or don't want to me. And you use the free war. And you're the Abujina Pobai. Abujina Pobai, dear. As you say, you tap to 4 Atum Quem. That I'm saying I have peace. We are washing any year. I paid here. Also, but 2 operation or 2 so. And Yaguma. And Omubuno. I paid here was it or Sa Relantic. Operation for 2 and Kaya or train or Lantin. Naminia offer. Mamma Bissau. What the military approach for close to 50 years and yielding results there. Why should you continue with it? We unya people, we unya master, a common sense, a better say. I was also approach you. Now we tackle the issue on the ground. Offer meno kasi. Usha ni oma yina illegal miners no matches to matches ya no nim awose. Omkwa former party employees no ma omu ye adwuma. But the owners of the jobs ni die yencho. Offer yentia. And na manso for it. Erastus Asari Donko Joy FM and then in Confo. Ekoye Duma. Omukoye. Sorry. Na military na yesi yemfanko pam galamse po. Omu di omu ebo. Ejuma ne mo kwanya. Sign of Wogum. Ghana Wogum. According to Erastus video no. Enipa site ni ene dia. Obodidi e brand Donat Entua. Military for omu guide omu ntade esense ho. O ebe kubewu Suleiman, kubewu Hussein, kubewu Kwame Apia. Obudi bubom ni nyina bae no. President of fight galamse o. Yenti say wa question defense minister say eye den na operation Vanguard galams of nia dia. Yes say ye sika o man sika. Bien from fight galamse o mum ebo galamse for mo ban. Me pa chofa. What is that president? A question defense minister. Since then, 2018, and on Tonche, chief of defense staff, of what is the president a question? And on Tonche, commander or Asante region and on a supervisor area. No, the part of what thing last time I was asking since 2018 of I and on for that. Yantiwo. And the active sign of what now Minerals and Mining Act 2006 at 7031. Section 90 comes a punishment for Omomuye illegal mining. Omomuye illegal mining, no, so we a foreigner. According to Mrano, not the Tiwa. Ghanaian or Kaho, Mauye Duma, Ghanaian or Dubai, and Makoya Bergman, or see a tune also count a prosecution of Ame Pacho. President of fight galamse. The Benny at the China ni apo Ghana ni di say. When na den buy even I one kwana wo ye so ye internationally recognized galamse ya wo Ghana no. The Benny what you say assume sia na obenti on Ghana ni and or any partner on any year. Almost you waware Ghana ni. Every crew obi antumi mo ni na ono na sem no ko men kan wasem. Ofa yem fa no so kuda. Ofa so your president. What's the key performance indicators among for some movement? Now results by what do you do? Offer. Chefe. Omu chesi galamse for wow. Now for me catch no ne. No more majilansi so. Omo monjelansi so me galamse for community mind and omu yo. O bia say so sense. But community mind any day. Omo mu ya no underground no. Even Omo Magellan from here underground. Almost say water bodies now the surface. Minimum aquifer. So already hydrogeology. The problem be aquifer. I don't know the groundwater. Where the groundwater is concentrated. Baby a rocks no hold the groundwater. Almost into man over here. Explosives ne mercury ni ade no mu bisu. The Oman surface not friend underground pa. And also to pollute the aquifer. I'm not wondering who, aside from that, offer, who didn't take any part who community mind in the more report. Find out, Takwa. On community mind, yes, a community more than 3. And so information number out. And to almost safety, health near the end, a problematic at this point. Community mind now, Omuyano Eastern region, topics, no. Won't push the way I stay green. So the community mind, the idea behind that expense system, no, is very good. Now, almost a year into a problem. Aside from that, offer Omo Magellan since I see concession. More Korean students are so almost saying. The big question is, what standard operating procedures and a binary system. Someone do so. Because some of the lines, no, yeah, human. None of human or anything so in Satia. This I won't say. Methodology no more use to, and then the right way ya those stones as over. Offer, let's America, and I will be our own America. My young people are one thing. Maintenance you, and so many clear, and move who are saying your na mining war as through pay me charge you gold mine.
Mwene.
Need next or make you end this to sense. And then you still to you Ghana. That is the question. All because MPP for penny for any Bible penny for ya na aya galam someone for China for napa. One man and him for yes, a couple more years. Now see over Atlantic, the military attack could be. I feel you on him for the Benjamin. Put a two man on him for the Benjamin. Or he needs one after what's more obia for Uncle Garantia. Or he needs set or power. Or he needs me for 5 minutes before no more guarantee for buying. But you're moving now. Dr.
Osway.
Because
Dr. Say,
any result.
Dr. Osway. Exactly. Nina Yesikaseye. Nina Kusiaga. 7 interventions. Young Hudi Bukakusi. And Nedi Nyamia Yadom. Wakwaku P. America. Akusua de ekuta double masters in mining. Ekuta practical understanding. Anya PhD. Adarumo yagina yate yaso. Ye twen. Kire ye de yenye.
Ofa me da se. De mi yenye no maka abawe no. Enam se yo so mo ye no mo ya. Omo nkofo no mo ye adwuma. Empasu pudu omunya sampasu odintino. Omunfaso so beti because they have to use proceeds of what they are getting to do the reclamation and also use it to protect the water body. And no air cost. Because of that cost, omunfaso obeye. And me 1, 2. Oma politicizing the set me cassette yaban.
Debbie. Doc, ni e pedi yenye. Ena umu yesu sisi ya nse doc nyamutre unse de yenye no wanya no na wo kire ye se wo kan ye mfa wo de kire ye de yenye ni document nto se say na solukan ye
promise me say me can't obediently Emma Banyaye.
Me promise you say
Also promise.
me promise you say the obeka no ye be twa no nko ado atonchen aka say e bia 4 or 5 or 6 interventions Dr. Solomon Usu o se yenyeni nana yawo muntie na de solo beka no muntwa no nko antonchen
Me what pass me can't throw plane. Oh promise me so obediently every week me pro agi update. The one follow over what pass
the year can say the interventions apese ye nyina no me ma me to was na me kan bibi na onua no so ntibi na bi kura wa ante ase ye a subsequently obetimi akwakorre masre nana yawo ene abna frema omo na technical production isi omo na so said the wo be kan say yenye no yentwa eno nko separate na yemfanto ne man heading. These are the solutions for the galamsey mess in Ghana suggested by Dr. Solomon Owusu. It shall see.
Edikan, we go straight to the point. One, there should be proper concession, acquisition, and registration. And none a handful also involve one because on this only more way, we saw the more way, and you know, the more engaged on Hene or Hene way. And before Nipanda Communal Commission, also upon anymore, not on general manner, not on man receipt. Assassination to plan the home, and if you can plan the home. Minerals Commission, ever to me the more, ever the cadastral map, or Modia Tum, I mean, assume or painting a happy in the end of the year, or year to month. And it's a problem for na na another patrolman catastrophe anya the also moya. We have the location, we have the name, we have the company name, we know the directors of those companies. Number one. Two, and was a permitting system. And yet very simple, but very effective. It shouldn't take more than 1 year and some of your person for small scale mining. Why Conebra, Koipie, Kwaha, Conforestry, Quatra, Kwaha, and also a frustrating conform moment between Kwaji licenses and I might be illegal mining only license. So the permitting process to be simple but effective. Aside from that, number 3, offer that may register company. That's a Kumasi. Meko KME, na mako register. And then a small scale mining 40. Why can't we decentralize the registration and process? And this are the documents in our Kumasia. The Kumasi for at the huge amount of Mutina, the also a crap for you. No man can handle. No, my friends say, the brothers in sign way. Na ebejo committee. So they should decentralize the registration process. Number 4, of a menoka say, about 35 omuni standard operating procedures. Omojama minus say, Munyama humanity. Na another baboon so no ban. Ya draft it, ya test it, ya must say na mupoya and things to sensor. The everything there abiding. And I know a very technical. I will say they should engage technical people. Almost develop standard operating procedure. The America, near me come ya, almost na anything stone sensors. That is what the government should implement in Ghana to make the difference. And then number 4, standard operating procedure. Very important. They don't have it. Number 5. Develop standard operating procedure. There should be monitoring, effective and efficient monitoring of their operation. Minerals Commission for also employ a lot of people. Almost site to site every week. Report paper. It is a mineral commission officer. Not yet one photo. What's up, Yanti? What's up, dumping? The chef. Not say every week for the report to back. Not the audit echo That's the crochet. That's the insurance as not say. That means on your effective monitoring. Number 5. Offer Meno Cafe. Small scale miners are almost register almost attack. The challenge can oporiata. The challenge DRA boss. So almost produce documents are express small scale miners taxes are almost the amount fine almost to produce offer. So say you treat the taxes from what in some American now employing more staff and all that. You bet me you saw Mutikana Yenani be abroad. Young children, baby, young boy, baby. Oh, my taxes night, you know. You do that what Emma that recognize that Emma not effective. My name is Tim. There is some preliminary analysis. A Bible minimum of $300 million every year from small scale mining. Minimum. If they implement an effective system to collect taxes from these small scale miners, from the equipment renter the companies, and also from the gold dealers. You bet me at the bois, FCT small scale mining. My last, but not the least, law enforcement. Of our way, the time, the one and some say, of our Okoti Aposiamanpa, or the Union Party, more than Cotton. Okoti Apunta mining, or the young people in Dan, of our Yadway to where you bet with their fighting guarantee. The fighting guarantee, yeah, fight this way. So we young people knew, people knew. Once we can say so names are illegal mining and brand new President August 20th, 2019, and our absentee into law. The Obia Obey Galampe illegal mining or Ghana, Abra, Uni license. We are Ghana, who become in fear 15 to 20 years. Obia, we are foreigner, I'll be who become 20 to 25 years. Offer somewhere Emirates people. 2 Nigerians, or me a foreigners, or my illegal mining or Ghana. That jail will be 20 years. Offer, or me Nigerians, or me a foreigners, or me a Ghana for 20 years. They come in some abide with or my technical initiative. Nemo, ya take China for over thousands ever Ghana. You be a Muslim ya Delino 20 years ever Ghana. Ya think for Ghana. So now enjoy for your illegal mining our Manso forest for an Amoyan Channel. Who to me a Koya Galamse the Free Forest Reserve on Amoyan Minister Ababontain, Abe declare illegal mining. Minister Ababontain, Abe is to press release. I could destroy the camp, no, catch one in video because we time I want to. Then I want to down in Ghana. Now catch them, Mr. Oh, fighting Galamse offer. Not Galamse also fighting. As somebody of the same won't make control. Until the president, I bet want to be a jail in 15 years minimum. I think was who did see a jail in the minimum. I do not enjoy a jail 15 years minimum. I tell you, other small scale miners for money lines, illegal miners for young people before your charity begins at home. Now, the service, who should be on young people in order not to? What's it foreigner, all free China, now not to? Now, what's the China in Iwajana? What's young people in Iwajana? How are you going to fight this Galamse offer? That is my frustration.
Right.
Now, the presidency and power or fighting Galamse in the year. We are all monitoring as a one. Can you imagine, say?
And can be as a one, dear.
And they could defend it as someone or court. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I made offer my 1 minute to patrol. Meet no 50 years so. Let's say. Bible say. Don't you are saying Japan now she will crack and passport Ben Albania. But the brain, when you would come over here, Chairman, would that go over by successful? When you speak over your thing now, it is an Aisha one case where one could defend the and this car a very young time. Who poor anymore? Credibility, one young now, if you are going to afford to give up for that time.
Solo,
What's the defending?
we are on Solo Wadaroma, what US, and yes, we are to Ghana, and we are on the lookout for libel. It men can be here, Sir Freddie Blake, file is Yemiano, the board in Siano, that's one. Young children, now, so Freddie Blake file say, Yemesha say, or no Freddie Blake. Is he personally in charge of the conduct of Ashawan conspirators, or more defense, Nana, a high. Why make it that point? So 5 points now.
Assembly by of a mutual assembly by no. I have published one newspaper. No,
and the year can say, Freddie Blake, in defense of his reputation and integrity, which you say, maybe be boost an FM for more, and I'm a publisher say that board in Siaso. More, and I'm a publisher say, me, I'm personally in charge of the conduct of.
Only the okay, Matria sign. Board no.
Haggling over who defends who. It is not a function of curbing defending saying the sources of Galamsey fight. But for now, you've made a very good point about Sa no man no now kind of. Yenyi Sa no man no. Me akura na dwi metom boase.
No, and so 7 of 7 points.
87 points no. Anadwi ma metom boase. Na me nkomu ye. Na me nsan no mra rematch. Na bia baby a ye person clarify na amplify no. Na why ye man all intended say ebeboa o man Ghana. Why?
Of amidansi.
Yes, you was Nyame Nhira Solo. Dr. Solomon Usu and or mining consultant and what in no. Nana Jimatna say and TT Katino. I hear my dolomi. Na ayawo sani ekeba ni agbene wale henu wakeba yi. Nana me mwatna say.
Eja ofa.
Titi.
Obani.
Jeff
Ejogba ai kwe. Afita. Ami e washi onye ofe no.
Oh, mami e washi at least oba nyo ye jiji ka shito.
Be jiji en wo bon ye mebe. On yo almost ye jala wa.
Jiji hu. Jiji hu.
Hey, moga ngebe an bogabi. Bogabi mi chawe wi awe.
Jiji hu.
Alakabre jiji jala wa.
Jiji hu.
Face the wall.
Nana what yas moka. Sa abetia so boa ye dey.
You be like open your phone lines.
Abetia so boa ye dey.
O die mama me 5 minutes now dey opening. Fire pause.
Abetia u be di say.
O beti wasun.
Abetia
didi dey. Nsuo. Enye nkwan.
Ebi abetia dey nya ni mako ni fish.
Ufi ada.
Na dey.
Ebi ane boy dey.
Aduane boy dey e different from abetia boy dey.
It's not a joke.
Right. Yanshe. Do we start from Galamsey or do we go for economic challenges?
You've been talking about Galamsey. Let's continue.
Okay. So haggling over who represents who at the law courts relating to Galamsey issues. You know, is it a function of whether we will be successful or not?
On that note, I mean, it's you for you now. That me who Dory natural Mr. Massey. Me who Primaswache, or no so Mr. Massey. Intimate yom.
Now when from her,
Madame Bakuno near you,
Marjorie,
my home, friend.
Sir, then I quit, you're not afraid, it catino. It means you.
Of Alakabre, on the issue of who represents them, no. Don't say
the fact of when a representative will court, you know,
it shouldn't be an issue because if the law is A, it should be A. If they have offended, it should be this. What must say? But because of this time now, ultimate court, I catch also birth certificates, crying new source of identity. People have a challenge with what the court is going to say. What am I saying? There's some lack of trust or belief in the judicial system. To the extent, say, people think that when these people are in or representing them in court, there could be some manipulation. And yeah, we've seen a couple of cases that have gone to court that even the Supreme Court, which we cannot challenge, I've given verdicts that you and I will sit here and we can talk about, but your cost from cry. That's the verdict. So when people are questioning, it's because of what has passed. Because who is here as a citizen of Ghana, as a here cry, or birth certificate cry, I say it's not an identity for you. You understand? So when Ghanaians are questioning that, you should understand where they are coming from. Their belief, they say, once these people are fronting it, the chances, let me tell you, everybody believes in Ghana now that these two, the Chinese issue on Aisha Wan, what have you, they will be freed. The worst is they'll give them a fine. I'm telling you, that's what everybody believes. That is why Ghanaians are already talking and they are saying the umbekani nyina no. The woman who be done but they said they be the no. If the law will go according to plan and say, hey, you have offended ABC, there was here no tuma, we wouldn't have any issue. But you and I know said the law of evidence is proof, beboa. Ebi a charge ne ato you try to omoso na e wo court na nyina ye hu ye no. Ebi a charge cry, omunye evidence on that. Nti you do proof no want to improve ya. Prosecution be they are what do you expect the judge to do? Mo say why no. Munti improve say why. Nti you have to let the person walk. And that is what we can expect, which is normal. When say Ghana police at times some yes sir, they charge better also. But charge ya to also munti improve it. Then you go to court and the matter is discharged and acquitted. That's what Ghanaians feel. But I think if we interrogate anything, you will be say charges being paid near the bomb. And is this substantial? It can hold. What's him say? Charge being crying near the bomb. All we hear is galamsey, achi. But charge near the bomb. Is it that she was caught in the act, caught doing it? What's him say? So really, you'll be surprised at the end of the day, she will walk free because the charges that were preferred against her or charged on her, they wouldn't have proof until the woman will walk free. And that is what I anticipate or foresee. Or can look into the future and say the woman will walk free. Because
I say good afternoon. I am alerting you that if we want to stop this menace of Galamsey, we should go to Anyankwanta near Bekwai. All the workshops that have sprung up over the manufacturing point of machines used in the operation of machines, champagnes, the metal platform on washing the go. All workshops should be shut down. Hey, we be gaining skill. And you say, "Kotutum." Anajima, yende.
If I may say, Medawa Sena Yichia, Nita Femeti Funinam. Me say, and then my first time I'm in a TT Asia and Michiano in a special way. I may say, the issue with Galamsey, just that the personality, you are Freddie Blame. Thank you, Koku menu chambers are in any issue. But why a political figure and I say why a current government figure and our survey at the highest level of as a national chairman and our these heated conversations in our aba. But mestre no my muka krasem. Even in business associations, you will be a friend or separate legal entity. I will say yes, in business BR and in the management different. Owners of every business are different from the management of the business. And see, you apply this concept into a legal fraternity now. The chambers of Freddie Blay is entirely different from the personality Freddie Blay. Yes, like I said earlier on, is a personality. But Yechi Obia or Maimua, Nipano is entitled to write to a lawyer. And our issue in Koba, they visited Freddie Blay chambers and they have agreed to represent them. But that does not mean that Honorable Freddie Blay, though any chambers, but it is not the person. I'm saying, guys, see, yes, Sanchez Chemuna Ghana for that the person Freddie Blay is separate from the Freddie Blay chambers, although he is the owner. I will see in this explanation. Yes, Obin Subeka said there's
the entity of Freddie Blay partners,
yes,
Freddie Blay associates.
Exactly.
They are different from the person of Freddie Blay.
Yes.
Same as Western Publications. They are different from the person of Freddie Blay.
That's right. And I was here who say, Honorable Freddie Blay, no, professionally, no, or a lawyer, into me represent anybody Ghanaian.
The last I recall, Krano, the former Attorney General, Gloria Kufu, or a member of the chambers.
Yes. Same penny baby or home more chambers no more. It's a law firm almost provided professional law advice, almost litigation Emma Ghanaians to serve the best interests of Ghanaians. But the topical issue of Galamsey with the factor Aisha and with the personality Freddie Blay, and I did these conversations I had in Abba. This will not have any, compromises on the trial and also on the judgment from our court.
It is the rules of engagement, Young bending because of Freddie Blay.
David, because Freddie Blay any law or the law and also Freddie Blay chambers the law and a airco aqua trial obetimi akono akolusi obetimi nso akono wini case na Aisha 1. But the issue here is about conflict of interest. And then Amagana for Ekasa hu bebre. Then I make and say koye kwaku menu chambers anke bia enye topical sa. And that politics and then the conversations and propaganda circulating this whole situation should be put to rest. Yenina enim say your judges they are competent enough, they know the laws enough. Say Aisha 1 operate without mining license. They know the laws that they have to use to try them. All the mining regulations say try them will be applied. It does not mean say Freddie Blay Babinya impact on whatever is happening. But yes, we know say there's a conflict of interest, and like I said, in business Biano is a separate legal entity. It's most often even in corporate governance so uni obi dele na se uwo interest ewo nipa kono ejumanimu and na se unim nipa no, which is familiarity, you disclose your interest, and most importantly you even recuse yourself or exclude yourself. Say assume see amenene kwa koye ejuma and I say because of the current government aye bibi dantino, I do not want to represent. But those decisions a personal decision Emma Freddie Blay chambers. And as it stands in there, chambers accept to say omobe represent Aisha 1. That is the sole decision of Freddie Blay chambers. It is not the decision of the party and also of the government. But like I said, the issue with conflict of interest and these issues are topical. We should be able to substantiate between the arguments we are building. And Freddie Blay represent Aisha 1 any chambers, even though he's the owner of the chambers.
And Aisha 1 crana omohodu brief for a year. Nipa for na
sa pepepe. Into your best friend Ghana Funyanti into say it is not MPP party. And Omokako represent Aisha 1. And in any case, the decisions that will be used, and I said the rules and then the regulation of the Mining Act ni be used to their trial will not be bent because of Freddie Blay. Inti na yepese Ghana for enya inti allow the judicial to work. Let us listen to the trial. Let us listen to what is going to be done there. Na yenye who say yes, there is confidence in our judicial system. Say even no matter the situation, say a president, a crown or representing now, there's that confidence in our judiciary to be able to use the rules to work. Na amagana fuenya ratio mu say no matter the situation, the difficult task ababetu yenina with the issue of Galamsey, we would solve it collectively. Na in the end, yetimi your water bodies are saying yemfu ye kwaye nini na say edin sunsu aso ebreye ye benya benefit free. Fanti we me initial remarks.
Okay. Yankenka messages kakra. What a management of the MPP in the voice earlier on TT Katno of the NDC. Or say Wafa, on what capacity are the military being deployed? Is it a shoot to kill operation? Or just to chase them away for them to move to another town? What kind of leaders are ruling our sovereign state? Asante were UK no. Also, everyone that aspires to do mining must be asked to build a dam in the area where they want to mine before being issued with a license. Asante nane de esoso. Bakayoko Fadama, also please. The president is doing very well, so let's support him. And now, Odibaye. Also, Piti Prim. Abrawanko Oti region. ADAKABRI. Good afternoon. Dr. Muhammad Bawia's current situation in the MPP is like lighting a candle and putting it under a basket. It can bright. Our own MPP are seeking for the downfall of Dr. Baumia. That's why we don't see him. But the Allah that he serves will not let him down. Inshallah, 2024. And Odibaye. Wafake, No Plan Station Circle. The biggest problem to fighting against Galamsey is former President John Mahama, because he's promised free Galamseyers when they come back. Greetings to Honorable Moses Abo. I say, well, please, why did you hit Dr. Baumia like that? Please stop that. It is not fine. Okay, and also Okansa. Marsha, and was a good day, ADAKABRI. Please do not distort history by saying that Akufo-Addo and Afrifa fought against a champion military government. Take note that PMFJ was not created by Afrifa and Co. PMFJ was formed by Afrogbede, Komla Agbele Dedema, and these surrogates were taken on board to fight against the imposition of union government. Onlo. Party. Afrogbede, the Makoka say, a year Akufo-Addo. That time only a year because you have Afrifa no. Yet in the brand Akufo-Addo as 2007 no. Not that brand no. One of the things I mean the carries our brand Akufo-Addo no. A year ni row. Any a year a free farm. I will play with PMFG mo. And what I'm saying, fuck credit in my warm. Oh, na a year Afrogbede na tea. And now warm your surrogates. And now your coffee will be fighting.
Also not doing the same thing.
Masha, now the contest in which I make work what to do was PMFG now say getting can. He was a young man, 33, 34, a general secretary of the PMFG. And to all brand now, that political brand, no, and read the same thing and read now. The can say, what does Baumia stand for? Nipa be brand yes. What Akufo-Addo stood for as a 2007 and I'm a kind, you know. That number 5 no. And a mass at the time who said the brand Akufo-Addo no say the net here. Into your ne also about what do you stand for? In the Debiano Ghanaian politicians enter your political brand a kayetrim. It you know, also people in family. Hey, Katino. Juma is there. I say, Wafa, this Amakuba should be one of the Council of State members. Oh. He's so good. MPP has collapsed the country. We the youth are in trouble. MPP Tria, never again. King David, Kaswa, and not town. JM, Beba, and also Okana, sir. I say, good afternoon, sir, Wafa ADAKABRI. I just say, Master P. or no. My mind is airborne inside Kingsland, and I'm doing the listening live with Angela Kosua Kwendua Mwakon sister and Wisdom Nana Eje aka Kanana, both inside Coventry. Oskani Deborah Wiafe of Westminster University, Richmond Kwabnapia aka Obasanjo of Greenwich University, Amanda Pia of Kent University, Bridget Ajimai Nana Kuya inside Pearly, Doreen Opokuya and Nana Kunama, both inside Wolverhampton, Emmanuel Uswechang inside Peckham, Ago and Mercy inside South Bermondsey, Joel Duncan Kofi inside Canning Town.
Eba abrochi chebe.
Now I'm a road na cho ne. Enti ɔse dɔre opoku ya desma kana asɛm na dɔre twetwetwe na ni hwehwɛ mi. Nana ama siedu sapon inside Dagenham. Obapa ama Frimpoma Coventry. Coffee Stone inside Manchester. Emmanuel G. Star Frimpong, aka Nigaji of Bracknell, and Nana Sly Quarty inside Walthamstow. Wafa ADAKABRI, the Chancellor sacking doesn't have any correlation with his meeting with Ghanaian Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
Oh.
So Ghanaians should let him be. Wafa, please kindly wish Akosu Shira Ellen a nurse at the Tibia Government Hospital a glorious happy birthday for me. From Evelyn, Consti, Entry, Mama Isari, and the rest of the family celebrate you today, Ellen. Blissful weekend to you and your team, Wafa. Master P, London. Current challenges are the government of Ghana, AFC, you know. Yebuso, are we able to come out of it? And do we know of any timelines?
ADAKABRI answer na nkabe ko wasem no so no. Na kampese me ka bibi kakra fa galamsey no, but see ade metwem wo accusations. Metwem wo say Nanado ye say na minister ye say na, because I'm sure say by now no ebusuafo for mo thinking cap edwene ho den pa den portin ye betimi aye. Nti sisi anu my adwene say I will not talk about what is in the past, but then solutions are made at me so matnase. Said you na Solomon Wusu Canada no. Me so matnase I rebisa. Nti me so say na wo say yen record you be the infant to no.
So the frames. Mr. Mon record the TT cat no the panasia. For ending the
I have passed insulting or accusing because it's ya can yes mo ye we be ntija. That is the way forward.
The way forward we can so obi aso and distract me enti.
Batoyo. One. ADAKABRI, as I sit here, I will agree for what we call a total ban on alluvial mining. We will be alluvial mining any day. Mining in water bodies. Every water body will be say way or the machine could see so am mining no. It should be banned totally until further notice. Until that time, I who say insurance ni ate. ADAKABRI to add it to it no. I am asking for 3 to 5 kilometers away from every water body no. It should be kept free. The reason is simple. Because me geographical cry na me here and it's let me say filtration of water is from the surrounding sand. And the whole and a sedimentary rocks no bet me a filter in no. Inti anything near the water body should not be touched. What am I say? So alluvial mining shouldn't be a thing that should be encouraged at all. For now, no. Alluvial no BNJ. ADAKABRI 2. There should be what I call a supervisory check on license. We better say, Yama ADAKABRI license that. Yama Dorin license that. Yama Munian license that. So what is the way forward? But every mineral and mining lease I am no, it has some expiration. Now, some lease they are no. Say expire, you are supposed to do certain things in that lease, which is part of the contract. Reclamation of land, planting of trees. Nipa na obe approval or license no for the continuing to do the work no. They must ensure say omo inspectors akọ site ho. Akọ making sure say yema 5 acres. What say 1 acre dey year mining no. And ye bia 1 acre na what there two way no. Have you reclaimed it? What cover? What you be so that when we are renewing for you to continue to maybe the 2nd acre or the 3rd acre, you say first one now here and why then what cover? And in effect, you know, say depending here, I don't see the reason why they should renew that license. And when you do so, people will go back and reclaim the land because of him. So yeah, no, Oba will be renewing the license. So this is a supervisory check. 3, ADAKABRI. All bulldozers in this country, the air need the okrom ha. There should be what's a form of tracker put on it. Ghana meaning say human beings can corrupt the system. So the tracker is not left into one hand of government. There should be 2 different arms or 3 different arms of government monitoring. It is a word that can be the supervisor now who allow tracker there. During the baby for so monitor. Inti se uja onu be who say tracker there bulldozer na there we movie e dey call. Obi bisa me say na all the tracker no bo ho a bulldozer si bebre wo krom dada. How do we get them? Let me say yes, there's a way out. Every money equipment etimi to bulldozer then no, they all have insurance. They all have roadworthy. They expire. So within a space of 1 year, everybody will go to DVLA or go to an insurance company to renew it. When they go there, it will be mandatory that there should be a tracker report. It says, say your bulldozer is being tracked. Apart from that, say DVLA should create a special office for these mining equipment to track them. In doing so, no, say me and na me wa mining a bulldozer. Now I was saying maybe year Juma, this particular area near movie Kobe before they'll be able to track you. And the worst part of this nini, ebia nipa ndi ade na back room has say or the coil lorry kwine. The man contract pankrodu baby. But you find that this bulldozer has moved out of the location age one baby. A hot and enforcing. So when it's like that, the tracking system will be able to tell where every bulldozer is at every point in time with one click of a button. And so when we supervisor you should be able to tell us something. ADAKABRI, do you know that mercury is used in this? Yes. Has anybody asked? Say, omo importing mercury temaport hono. Has somebody followed to say that person brought in 20 drums. 20 drums on the factory ko ye di obeye. And I said 20 drums to 2 pen the factory. And 18 found its way into Galamsey sites or areas. National security, you have a job, you have a task. I know what I'm talking about because I have some reporter if it port. That is telling me that it moves from there. For instance, when I import it, for quantity, I would need 2 drums, but they import 40 drums because there is better money in selling it to the Galamseyers. So it does not actually end up in his factory, but it ends up somewhere else. So I want them to also follow that particular commodity. Say, if you need a factory, hoko ye jumano, and you be omu yusu ohana minjindi. There's one thing President Lekanye recently, I was happy. The reason was bringing the chiefs and the DCs into this business. Because a metia cry. Now mobilize. No, the me crash say, betu Galamsey without my consent. It's a bit painful. So I think that in granting a lease to a particular person to do his job, no, let me feel say, in the chief, the DC, the EPA, and the ministry must come together to approve every individual lease. And in doing so, no, so I didn't say that's a different game. The DC has approved. EPA says it's a good area, you can go. Then it's easy. In so hinibi, Oko Jessica, your people will rise up against you tomorrow. So I think that all of them coming together will bring some sanity. So nobody will sit in Accra and say, I've given you a lease to go and dig in some town and you just jump and go because the power vests in the president and I'm the minister, so I've given you the power. In ADAKABRI, these are a few I've put together. Okay. If you say, and no so, obi table be hun trotro on one kahun. Right. Ebe boy nyina.
Enti yenko the next issue so. The challenges are minor aircom, economic challenges are minor aircom. Government no obetimi a recover every such challenges manner. And do we know of a time frame be timelines be na? Yes, the President of the Republic will be in Kumasi between the 16th of October to the 19th of October. In the Akuku Drew and challenges Ekosu Kumasi or they call kwasi ada nopa no nkro ne fa president be kwa sorry wo Anglican kesiem St. Prince na ebudumi no a obekọ manhia na dumi no akire no watimi akọ akọchia santen ne santen ma na no mi no obekọ eye buankra ilampont akọ akọhwe contractor wa shas ya wo ye adwuma wo na just about 20 minutes to 3 obekọ kono ngoso akọ commission municipal hospital no na fe no ebono nan a wo beba eye ofurikrum agenda 111 project okoko na nonum no nso no eye ahoma so eye 30 kV Kumasi Bogatanga transmission lines obekọ akọhwe na omaye adwada October 17 no pa no ne faso obekọ radio interview o Tech FM owie ho no a na just residential accommodation for appeal court judges this is nya court of appeal so Kumasi nti edan yesisi ma appeal court judges so no obekọ na wakọ bie dana no na fe no adwada no pa akabe se meet atuo no na abodu mi no kana mampanyine be Kumasi dwo kase no obe Kumasi dwom na rebe na ho rebe na ho
o menka hwe
na ya okay
ADAKABRI
obe Kumasi dwo kase mu obe Kumasi dwom
bohobium
obe Kumasi dwom adwada
say pure water boy dey nti omuntimi nto
can you imagine and what are you insinuating?
I'm only telling you what
telling me what eti Ghana mampanyine kukodu ugaso be so da ko no ama obi akọ yensim hunu bia o
bia no court process na muhuru no
entino obekọ Kumasi dwa kesem na eye just about 20 minutes to 12 and obekọ Kumasi dwom na fe no just about 12:30 obey inspect KGTS Central Market Phase 2 project omoye na fe ebo wana akwa inspect maternal and children's block project e wo Komfano Children's Hospital 2 p.m. so no be commission Komfano ECG 33/11 kV primary substation eso so e ho na fe 3:30 obekọ toase na 4:20 ene nanan be bodwata da e wo toase e magistrate court ene yekobia no nanan be bodwade ama no nunsia na one MMDCs and regional executives constituency chairman only ombishia or residency nti abinada no pa nonkro ne fa na okọ eye Sojalai Idris Barras Rempe College chire honom na nondu eno so Rexec Regional Security Council wo ma be brief no na fe no omni security officers our headquarters of Central Command Idris Barras wo so hia dubaako ena obekọ Swami na dubaako ne fa no Swami interchange akwa akotwa ahomam e bi susu se chese nko omo yenye nru ba bia nsana okwakọ na okwakọ gaze bitwa ahomam na dubaako ne fa Swami magazine fo no be ba ma wotwa ahomam ama eno so donko ena obekọ nsuta sekire nsuta na no mienu nananum bebodwa ewo nsuta abra maize processing factory under 1D1F akwakoye na no miensa na agenda 111 project ewo nsuta na fe wabekumase no miensa nefa enunsia na chetoma ba bedidi ama fe no omo Prempeh Assembly Hall na MPP membership cards makoda na di obi ankonkoje ne de wukuada no pa no nkro ne fa obekọ Santase Apre Road no enye kwampa dem so mo ye dubaako ena obekọ akohwe agenda 111 project e wo trede afi dubaako ne fa na wati so akọ obuase dumienu ne fa anwea nkwanta de kọ obuase obekọ akohwe se de kwan ne sitie afi donko apa homiti du no so no akwa akohwe trauma and accident hospital agenda 111 e wo obuase akabe se no mienu ne fa ena obekọ manso nkwanta na manso nkwanta e wo fomena so manso kwanta de nya from na ni nyina ne se manso kwanta hima na nya akwa abura otoso mienu ana ye ne dot ye nti obekọ no manso kwanta ana ebunu no ma na wabekomase anwumre no so ne fa on MPP founding members and the council of elders and the patrons be share afi wakopa ba bi den kase na kogu economic challenges you bet me recover oko kumase yi your expectations.
Well, ADAKABRI, a good thing says why a juma now I started juma there was so say juma na cost intermediate before so. But ansana make about economic challenges no. That would the unim kumase pa, unim Ashanti region pa, unim Asante Achimbanka. Unim moba. I mean Crawford no so say your constituency elections next week. Inti manamfo bi fi Accra e no ko Asante Achimbanka. O text me and no say Jack. Elam say ye two hone. Enyago.
I say unyam eye dwaso obogu.
O say dwaso ye mention that name dwaso.
Dwaso obogu.
O say omwa tu form ho nyina.
Bankem. Ofo ase ye bi.
Chale. So describe ya de no. O twa video de ma me kra. Me say ade ye say ye ko tia no. Afa de ye edudu no.
James ko see eye community day school ko ase ho.
Me kai no. ADAKABRI, you best impanyimfo na ni nko. Tema Asante Banka.
Right. Economic challenges.
Economic challenges there.
Any president, how bold he is to Asante?
Yes. Say recently no Yanti Asempa from Ashanti region. Say Greater Accra traders there. Omo share that throw letter so mbeko strike. Omo try the call ya na. Ye from na ye dey be eyi nti omo cancel ya. From one omo cancel but Asante region there em say they didn't even give notification to government nti omo tisi kromo na omo lock omo stores day 1 day 2 day 3 nti ADAKABRI I think say Ashanti region has become a bit hot na hot na abeka become no enye obia sheda say any fault eyensema His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo na ne Dr. Bawumia e katire omo no omo ehun ne sa e na omo koso so sesi aso ehun ne sa ene mi hu say yes dollar no edu 11 or say 12 cedis bibi 11.6 where's your area way there I sure ADAKABRI check it. I saw something different from that.
Mama, don't talk it down.
I shouldn't talk about it now.
Don't talk it down.
Okay, I heard CD hits 12 CDs. Yes, GH Extractives. Now it's yes. I got that notification area where CD hits 12 CDs.
And a year day.
And I make her say the Kumasi for markets no did it's about the rising dollar and the price changes every day. It's actually 12.1. And yeah, 12 CDs 10 pesos. So inti going to Ashanti region there, he has to bite the bullet as it is. It was all no copy be catching a bush for because and yes sir and no say ebebano. So he has to go and cool the waters because why shit. And I imagine what the MPs are going through or mufi honomo or pressure be so. So I expect that say oko no muhuna obeka simbia ebema omo akoma eden atofo ato omo akoma na abafom. But looking at the economic challenges of this country, ADAKABRI, you and I know that the New Patriotic Party with their finance minister, so nyama bebre wo ho a omudi sie below the line. Those guys are below the line no. Omo budget omo see below the line. And World Bank ni IMF are bringing no above the line. Nti see ade abeye clear eka. Nti ohwe ase see a eka no so abro 400 billion. Inti ekan many and yes say expected by December 104.6 or say 106.4 104.6 ADAKABRI enyo obi na ye but I believe strongly that nothing is impossible. What am I say? Nothing is impossible. Me can't say we dey be say wonam krom na who say obi stay land cruise mu anote posh kaya mu a eya men jealous no e be say wonnim bibi oda. Because ye di ba ku bi echi sa no you sue Range Rover eko kaswa in room baby not the compound house or the single room we dware ni ho But to sorry ne car ne crop park wo filling station be a ben ni fie ho. But who wo kroma or that Range Rover into ubu ne pa. And that is how Ghana is. We portray say Ghana I do form, but asia no enye. And we are suffering as Ghanaians now. But when you be swatch no, we can only cry and tell the president our peace of mind. Say nipa no de ahye ho no mo bu man no enko ye bre. You see, it's not funny anymore when you talk about high cost of living, inflation. High cost of living and inflation no. Aye bibia udwini ho kra won ti ase. And the prices keep changing daily. Daily, the prices keep changing. And the market women are not sparing us. The moment the price changes from the port, ADAKABRI niyama kro yi 3 months ago no, the price is say now or the atoso. You understand? Or yes, badoma profit. Into here, we can only beg the government because everybody believes it should be well. But how soon? Because we don't know when IMF is going to say that the money is going to come next year March or next year June. Nobody knows that. Into between now and that time, no. As a father, ADAKABRI, if you have a challenge in your home and you are going back home, your kids haven't eaten or your kids are struggling, I'm sure you have a headache going back because then I'll walk out and I say and I say what Juma say, it is a problem for the average Ghanaian. Now, if you say President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia, time has come for them to apologize and tell us the truth. Some catch say, "Ye dream say ye bet me aye, but ye ntimi ye boy a home modern into mudi mom boy nanka 1.5 years so 2 years ya kai nanka ye mfa mamo ade mamo back na mo nto amodwuma." So if you say ade na share come to the extent say we don't have any option. Nti sesi ade yes rom omo mbeka omo asem ombebo omo anum tuo no mo kan kire say ade na afa omo nti aedin amagana for. And it is not funny to I'm saying that the next election, which is 2024, is not NDC against MPPO. It's the MPP against Ghanaians. Seriously, it's MPP against the Ghanaian. Because the average Ghanaian is struggling. Seriously. It's MPP against the average Ghanaian. How are they going to make sure, say, problems are assessed here for the past months, you know? Will it stop before the next election? At what you say they are. ADAKABRI. And I plead. Say, abandon with your thumb. So let's all wait for 2024 with all your anger and go and vote.
Oh, what is so your
But try.
I feel the okay can see in a young channel. Why not plead? Actually,
Kumasi for lock your shop. Accra for Bejonium, won't you know? When these things happen, what else? People begin to agitate. And agitations are not good. So I'm pleading with every Ghanaian and say, "Sa locking of shops na ye bua fu yi krom nyade, ye nyina ye ntwen, ye na eto aba no man me bua, me tete man to be amano, but ADAKABRI bia auto man mo. Nti mo ebia, me nka se auto man. Ebia auto man. Nti mo amoto mo no mo bae no. Mpa mo cho mo nto mo bo, enema mo nkasa, enye nyina na ye beto kenkenu 4 cities no.
Ebi be kan obia.
Obia it go reach everybody. The broken heart, it go reach everybody. The kenke for Kumasi it be 4 cities.
Kashitolo.
Kenke in Kumasi is 4 cities.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm everybody up here. Four cities. It's in tech. It's not funny. It's not funny. Accra 2 cities and 3 cities in here they are grow. Kumasi is 4 cities. It's dangerous, man. Inti media me say boko ya na yeto mamu. Inti ye befa kwa ye to mamu sa.
Nana.
You offer me say me Sanders ibiem na you share current economic challenges, you know. Me far from the overview of your current economy. Now you heard some of the challenges. Now heard the aban area. Now I say
it's a good plan.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Let's hear you.
But before that, you know,
the way you said it's a good plan.
I said the way he proposes to speak.
Yeah.
Yɛtie ne yie a yɛbɛnya biribi afiri mu.
It's a good plan.
Nana Jima kasa.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan.
I will say.
That's outro thesis. Intro.
Nana mientie o.
I mean, so kasa ni mi yedi man.
Yeah, kasa. Why a disruptive student?
I see. But of a free the mining recommendation, I say very fantastic. I say I was say Ghana for yenina ye beginning to appreciate say kasa bebre nene complaints you know. Say pese ye pushy ye mine ko ye ni ma see yenina yetimi eba boom. The America aka hone say all the recommendations are good, but state institutions are buying AGU almost say omundi sa dwumadie no omunya da akukudro no no muntimi emfa recommendations ni nyina is on the table. Me sure say EPA for Minerals Commission, PMMC for they know all these recommendations, but the implementation no your best stress say the confidence will be given to them. Send the president tackle no head on was starting with meeting the chiefs, you know. Confidence in Ebeba no mutimi tackle the mining menace, you know. Back to the economy, you know. The beginning of the year, our minister presented the budget for 2022. But the macroeconomic indicators, you know, now forecasting here say the overall real GDP of our country, you know, is expected to grow by 5.8%. And it says here for GDP, a GDP ne year, your economy, no, say you combining goods and services, a juman kunku be together, a year saying, that is the GDP I operate within. And now minister expected say it will grow by 5.8%. Now your maybe one microeconomic indicators, you know, which is always, you know, the characteristic of every budget. Non-oil GDP was also expected to grow by 5.8%. Then inflation was also targeted at 8%. Then a fiscal deficit of 7.4%. You know, him say a final commitment to fiscal deficit. You know, your fiscal responsibility act say will maintain our deficit at 5% of our GDP. Senebe should be brave. And a primary surplus here 0.1%. These were the projections or the target. Fast forward to July mid-year review, you know, what happened was that the key challenges of our economy, which is the COVID-19 and then Russia-Ukraine war, offer MIA underrated these two factors. With the current invasion of Russia in Ukraine, and the AC or UK, AC at this particular time. So who study the global economy now? What is happening in the UK is peculiar to what is happening to Ghana and some other countries. Yes, we can do all the politics about it, but it is the reality. And see, Aban so SHS or best spend the budget revenues was targeted at a little over 100 billion Ghana cedis and also expenditure of 137 billion. So there's a deficit of 37. And so with all these challenges, it was obvious that we couldn't meet the revenue target, and then also we are supposed to revise our expenditure to be able to keep afloat. In July, minister came and then revised the budget to 96 billion, and then also the expenditure to 135 billion. And then together with this revision, you know, together with this revision, you know, there was three budget now. Three key budget items are taking a lot of our revenues. Number one, air compensations. Number two, air interest payment. And number three, air grant to government unit. These are the three key items in our budget expenditure, and it takes a lot of revenues away. And compensations are just salaries and wages paid to government sector employees and all that. So it was that critical for minister to come and review some of the compensations paid to public sector workers. Into Anona, you review some of the items which is a moratorium on all foreign travels. Allocation of fuel coupons to some public sector workers, and also now review, and then discretionary expenditure cut by 30%. A buying penny for chief executive for brain or basic salaries, you're slashing it down by 30%. You see, these are the responses are buying Azure to meet the current challenges of our economy. Yes, in your memory, and we admit in your memory, but government is doing a lot, because if you have a budget and the expenditure is more than the revenue, it means that you have to go to the expenditure, revisit it, and look at areas that you can cut to be able to bring down your expenditure and meet your revenues. Again, Abainsu was able to make sure, say, we met the 15% proposed, that is the COLA, cost of living allowance, which has been paid to all public sector. So, like I said, compensations, interest payments, and then grant to government units are taking a lot of our budget revenues. Those things, we have to look at it and then ration it. One of the things that affect here interest on payment of our interest in 20 interest payments alone, yes, which in 2022 budget, it was 37 billion. Now in the mid-year, Minister revised, and it went up to 41 billion because of the exchange rate, and fluctuations in the exchange rate, and which is heavily caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. That is the market speculation. You see, and I make us say, begin to appreciate what is happening. Yes, it be a free banner. We wouldn't appreciate it on our local setting. Yes, in your course we are.
There's a nature say enye mismanagement.
Enye mismanagement. On say uwa kunyenimu, oti akunyemu, na onte akunyema difference wom. Bibi ala make us say uwo position na usunku. Oba abaimunso usunku. You see the realities. You see, back to
Jomama can say Muni president won't mean criticizing. It was entirely true.
To the point I'm basically making is saying, you see, back in 2017, Ghana was touted as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We were growing at an average of 7%. We were not seeing the risk factors now. There wasn't any COVID and there wasn't any Russia-Ukraine invasion. We were seeing in your course, so we are starting a free SHS policy. Things were going. The exchange rate, wasn't that fluctuating as we are seeing in this particular times. But the point is that they say BBAC there's a risk factor, which it is beyond our control because now our economy or the global economy is interconnected. What is happening in the UK, in the US, has a little bit of impact on our local economy because of international trade. So the maybe boss is to let us understand, say, yes, there is a key risk at ECOSO, which it is beyond government control because of international trade. Your commodities are your trading, gold, cocoa, other cash crops, Some of the prices are even set by these international factors. And when there is some of these political and then geopolitics around the world, it affects markets and everything that you do is beyond yourself or beyond your economy. The thing is that, say, a ban is beyond you. You have the shocks because your local economy doesn't have that muscles to absorb those shocks. Most of the solutions we are looking for is that we have to come back to the drawing table, look at the economy, and then look at areas that we can beef it up. Making sure, say, we are going to increase our exports. In all this middle of these challenges, what government is doing is what we should be able to talk about it and let Ghanaians see, say, in the midst of these challenges, abai BB. Of us, most of the programs implementation are number one, there's national security. We shouldn't underestimate what is happening around our sub-regions. It is investment by government in our national security. and now we've not been able to see some of the hijackers and then, the coup d'etat which is going on around our sister countries. And it costs money, which government is really alert about those situations. The Ghana Armed Forces have been beefed. They've been recruiting more than 5,000 officers to beef up what is happening, pick up intelligences, and then make sure say Ghana for home buying. Number 2, food security. Of say there's fluctuations in the prices of our food. Bread is going up and all that. But in the midst of all this, the supply is there. The supply is there. And we appreciate the fact. But in our budget, minister said, ya place a ban on grains because of our flagship policy, which is planting for food and jobs. We can empower local farmers to produce some of these maize, rice, and soya. Yes, you import, and even make sure say you bet me I export it. And we saw the export of maize to other neighboring countries, Burkina Faso, and then the likes. Of our above food pricing in Ghana for now, because of the challenges that is happening, we are a bit more taking advantage of the system. So when the prices are caution now be to the same thing now omatum without any basis of increment. So the key thing is cost of fuel, which is going up and affecting most of the prices. A key price indicator and a driver. Number 3 of our energy sector. In the midst of the challenges, abai etimi are sustaining power. And you need him say power anywhere we can't do anything. There's a lot of investment going on, which is Kaswa box supply, abai etimi are making sure say complete that project, Kaswa box supply point, abai a complete. Abai also advanced the Volta Achimota lot, 161 kV, which happened recently, and then also connected about 58 communities to the national grid. That at the end of June. Again, Abai commissioned the solar irrigation project at Ho Technical University of March 2018. So, in the midst of the challenges, this is some of.
Do we have any timelines when we could come out of this conundrum?
Of the timelines in the says say, President F share all these things, and making sure say, or taking decision by going to the IMF. IMF and so by they have to go through all our budget, go through government policies, review some of the policies government has put in place, and then have requested for a DSA, which is debt sustainability analysis. And at the moment, currently ongoing, and then we are expecting say at the end of the debt sustainability analysis, which actually I think as at October 7 down to Endra, they are about completing it. And the timelines will be dependent on how we'll be able to make sure say we sustain our debt. Debt here sustain say, like I said, interest a year your debt, about 37 billion. It was revised to 41 because of the exchange rate. And then maybe there are some policies at Bank of Ghana, so increasing the base policy to 24.5. Yeah, the policy rate, just to make sure say they will be able to mop up excess, cash in the system and then beef up government reserves. Nini na boab ebe my economy ebe stable. Ye hoping say debt sustainability analysis report na IMF for nebeyeno. They will go through our economy, no doubt about it. Then they will look at areas that we can improve, areas that can be supported. With the timelines in there, we wouldn't be preempting the timelines as quickly as that. We want to still go through the system, go through our books, and then make sure say they have the right figures, they have the right presentation, nothing is being hidden from them. And once they do all these factors now, then confidently they'll be able to come up and tell us, look, Ghana for a bit me say, and that will be a road map, and I said the way forward that we will use to turn over the economy next year.
That's great. We have about 90 days to go and we turn things around.
90 days.
Yes.
The coin in 90 days.
As we turn around in next year.
Oh, Papa, no, I had there. You see your friend saying, Jima.
Jima.
Okay. Me pacho. Okasate said Dr. Baumia. Nti me pacho linking. Why? JBK
but at least he knows his stuff.
Yes. I'm glad he knows his stuff. Dr. Baumia knows his stuff. All the practical things are not the same as the theory. So it's good. It's good. Wakasa nice. But
what are your thoughts?
My final comments is that I wish they would enroll him into that school of Baumia. Now, why?
Cut it off.
Which aspirations?
Cut it off.
Dr. Baumia has failed us.
Cut it off. Has failed you and
he has failed Ghanaians. Somebody who said he will raise the dollar today is 12 cities. He is the head of economic D&D management.
And that is advisory.
Advisory, yeah. So he's the president.
Talk to the president.
Okay. Nana Akufo-Addo, what failure you have failed.
Now, what is the alternative for John Deba?
John Mahama. Didn't you listen to him on VOA?
Did he espouse any alternative?
Oh my! You see, what hurts me most is these are people who will not listen. When we started ringing the bell, you will be locked out of the bond market. Adongo was speaking.
So we are in a mess.
Atufosi was speaking. We
are in a mess.
So why should we wait for the mess?
We are in a mess.
Let me.
What is John Mahama proposing we could do to come out?
He will speak on that. Let me tell you one thing.
He
made a statement. He made a statement which I loved.
Which is?
Say, Russia, Ukraine, no, until we shouldn't try to make it look like we are politicizing it. Hey, Yopeni, this desk is a political show. It is not to say fine things about MPP. And MPP are a bunch of people who have messed this country. They are so reckless in borrowing.
Hey.
Reckless. That's a good English. They recklessly rule this country and run it down.
I am a dollar.
More than 2 weeks, ni.
No,
off anaba. I see this.
I'm 4 years. Go makasa.
And wait him. I solve it. And what is here, Papa? Into can no mudi almost transmitter. Was a transmission BB. Ya best still in Crovon problem.
Of a maintenance. I any name say machine. It is a machine call from NASA. Yes, Sana.
Japon. Wager. You sure no fear Kuapim get rich. Never far wager net fast no. Did we say I say Inti wula.
You so na copy wager no. And never Kuapim region baby.
Efiva. Efiva.
The Free Eastern region didn't so.
What I say Kuapim region? Kuapim is where? It's not easy region.
No, Kuapim region here. I don't know Kuapim region. Kuapim region then I'm
I was referring to Eastern region and they're sorry.
Sorry.
Eastern
region.
You
pass it down from
1 minute.
Japan.
In does that mean that people will not work? Somebody was supposed to be held responsible. Dr. Baumia President, His Excellency Nana Addo-Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we beg you. The economy is running down, dying by the day. So yes, so ye be found. Se unnim suswa. Catch Ghana for say, "Would you do it?" Matomin say, "Gurim to say." Your friend is saying, "Lady Pat." Your friend is saying,
"Mama Pat."
Mama Pat. Oh, do you for Agrada. What won't say Gurim? They will do court now. We started to. Sorry, you ma. Oh, said that.
You don't do that.
I don't do the other.
Agrada, dear Mia. Don't make fun of it.
Nanado should let us know. Say, atete apansan asay. So this is it. That's it. And then we will accept. Say, I did not say. Okay. But say, your people will sit on radio. Nice, bro. Fine. And a GDP and policy rate. Nice English. I like it. But is it translated into our pockets? No. Yeah, bre. Paper and pen economics. I know the end though. Policy rate has been reduced. Expected growth. You're not quite no who policy rate never know. Policy rate. $1 I go to goose. Togo. Me and Mrs. Sanya Marco Togo. China go goose. Policy rate for me.
Of I understand the crack no. You know more in this for almost Casasi. I am a pay. As an name is solutions na ye de magana for no. A hit.
And 6 years was still bringing solutions.
A hit.
Oh boss, 6 years. years you are still
of our the person mechanic say abind there.
Me sure say you do 7 years.
I will say all the pragmatic solutions.
Okay, yeah, that's
they will still bring solutions when we are 7 years 6 months MPP.
Yeah, that's it. Nana Jima of the MPP. Yeah, there was a pa and a TT Kati of the NDC. Also, yeah, there was a ADAKABRI Mahmoud Osioma. Minam di Jumedi Mochiame. Penny could you damiado? Flanked by Major or Sajman. And on producer show, and I quit free in a 7 rantiquadmino. I brought free my bankrupt and I suffer and a technical production is almost. And Sabri, yes, already. Ulako Kumaika, the dear Kofi, or the Eberco Chocho. Kusuneti neat 100.9 FM.
Tie Oha Extra Punk no Needs FM.